Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLM, so that's anti-multi-level marketing, and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. In today's video, I am bringing you anti-MLM content, so of course, just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and just my opinions. Today's video is going to be a reaction video, so we're going to go over some things that some reps have said and done on social media that I saw with my own two eyes, along with reacting to, I guess you can kind of call them hate comments. The hate comments are going to come at the end of the video, but the reason why I want to go over those is because I think the one in my gut, and I told my patrons and my channel members this, in my gut, I feel that the one person abused the privacy claim thing that you can use on YouTube, because I got a privacy claim on the very same video that they commented on, which is an old one. And the second comment, or another comment that I wanted to go over, is something that, I don't know, call me paranoid, but I have a gut feeling that it might have been someone from the company that tried to come after me. So we're going to go over that a little bit later. Yes, it might be a little bit of conspiracy theories going on at the end of this video, but I just wanted to talk about it. Before we get into those comments, we're going to go over some things, like I said, that reps have said and done. The first one, I'm going to read the caption first, then we're going to get into I'll play because it's an Instagram reel, so it's kind of similar to like a TikTok kind of, but Instagram's version. Anyway, and it has like text up on the screen, so I'll read the text that's up on it too. But this rep said, skeptical, that pretty much sums me up. But then 10 years of doctor appointments, swelling joints, optical migraines, allergies, thyroid medication, constantly battling sick kids, and feeling like that is just life for us will make a person skeptical. But I had nothing to lose and literally life to gain. I mean, hello, 60-day money back promise. 5 years ago, I had no idea just how much gut health would change for us, but we lost the migraines, the allergies, the swelling joints, and frequent flyer miles to the doctor's office. And now I won't ever stop sharing this gift of living in the moment to all other skeptics out there, because life doesn't have to be settling for negative symptoms. You're worth it, friends. As someone who has struggled with health issues in the past and currently lives with a chronic condition, I have epilepsy, for those of you who don't know, and I'm fine, but it is something that I have to live with every single day. Every single day is, I wouldn't say, it's not necessarily a struggle for me. I've been pretty lucky with it, but every day is scary. I don't know if I'm going to seizure or whatever the case may be. And when I was first diagnosed, I did a lot of research on my condition because no one in my family has ever had any kind of neurological problems before. So I did a lot of research on my condition. I did a lot of research on different types of medications because my doctor started throwing out names of medications that I had never heard of before. And I started looking at different side effects, long-term side effects of these medications. So there are other types of medications that I have to take along with it. And it's just part of it. So I get where this rep is coming from, that when you have all of these medical issues, you start to kind of, first of all, it gets expensive. Second of all, you're not only battling with your own issues, but she talked about constantly having sick kids. And I can't imagine what that feels like for a mom to constantly not only not be able to feel your best self, but have to watch your children endure all of these other things. Which brings me to why this person, this mom, this woman was the perfect target for an MLM company such as Plexus, because yes, she is in Plexus. The reel that she did, let's play that real quick for you, and let's go over the text that she had up on the screen for each little thing. The first one says, no more thyroid medication, no swelling from RA, no migraines. No more seasonal or anaphylactic allergies. No doctor visits in 5 years. Healthy kids for the win. Here's my question though. Does that mean that she's not bringing them for their annual checkup either? Or is it just that they're not going to the doctor for emergency purposes kind of a thing, or for like colds and stuff like that? Because I hope that she's still getting her kids checked up on just to make sure everything's fine, especially because their kids. Lily just kicked the tripod. I'm so sorry about that. But it's just one of those, I wonder. I hope, because as someone who, I do like looking at the different, I guess you could say, holistic ways of going about things, and I do enjoy looking into that kind of stuff, but I also believe in science. I also believe in pharmaceuticals, because without pharmaceuticals, I might not have been here today. So that's just something that I wanted to go over first. And there were a lot of health claims in that. To any reps who are watching this, please, for the love of all that is holy, do not make these medical claims, because it is dangerous. Maybe what happened was with this woman, she started taking Plexus supplements. Maybe because of her starting to take Plexus supplements, she started to take care of her body, take care of her family's bodies by eating healthier or maybe being more active. There could be other factors that have changed. And if you guys remember, it's probably over a year ago now, way over a year ago now, I reacted to a Plexus rep who made so many claims in her video. Literally every single health issue that she has ever had in her entire life, and there was a lot, and I feel for that woman because I cannot imagine going through all of that. But this woman credited Plexus for all of it. All of it. That is dangerous, because some people, they might say, oh, well, I'll just take Plexus instead, and I'll just stop going to the doctor. I'll just take this because clearly it works for this person. But there might be other factors that led up to that. Maybe this person is still on some kind of medication. Maybe they spoke with their doctor, and maybe the mix of a better medication, maybe they changed medications, and maybe the mix of that with a new healthier lifestyle. So maybe the combination of the two, maybe that helped in a way too. I'm not going to say that it's just Plexus. A lot of these reps are going to constantly say that it's thanks to their MLM. And sorry, but I'm not buying it. This next one popped up on my Facebook feed. And I thought it was so funny, because at first when I saw it, I didn't know that it was an article that was pointing out people who just really effed up on Photoshop. I didn't know that that's what it was, and how people got caught deceiving people online. But when I first saw it and it said, Meghan Markle is an Herbalife user, DM me to get yours. I'm sorry, but that Photoshop is so bad. You could see it from, I'm looking at it from like this far away, and you can tell that it's Photoshopped. And if you follow the royal family, and if you follow Meghan Markle and all of that, you would know where this picture was taken, because in this next slide, they actually showed that it was from another article. It was a picture that was taken from something else. But the Photoshop is just so bad. And the Facebook message said, it's official. Meghan Markle is an Herbalife user. Message me now to get your own Meghan approved pack, limited run. So someone commented and said, this is completely fake and an awful edit job. The original is here, and it's a link to the article. And I'm assuming the rep, there's a lot of things bleeped out. So I'm assuming she probably said F off, or get the F off my statuses if you're just here to chat. Maybe that meant to say bullshit. I'm just assuming here because it's all censored out. But that is so bad. That Photoshop. Oh my gosh, the Photoshop is just so bad. It's so bad. If you're going to try to deceive people, at least try to do a good job. It literally looks like they did this in like paint or something. It looks so bad. This next one, a lot of you have probably already seen if you're on Instagram, because I did see it circulating through quite a number of Instagram accounts. It originally came from Small Anti-MLM Angel. I just have to give it to Nikki, because she's got she finds some good content for just problematic things in general, and there's a lot of bad things. But this came originally from Small Anti-MLM Angel. I'm pretty sure Anti-MLM Advocate also commented about it and made a post about it as well. So let's just get into this.
Stop listening to everybody in the back. Stop listening to Google. I get it. You want to learn more information. You want to know all the details. You're searching. You're going through everything. But it's also going to stop you from doing what you want to do because you're so scared of everybody else's reviews or experiences. And most of the time, guys, in this business, in this type of industry, like, you're gonna fluctuate up and down. You're gonna make money, you're not gonna make money. You're gonna have an amazing business month and you're gonna have a horrible business month. It's just a matter of this industry, and you have to be strong. You have most of the time when
So I'll agree with her so far on one thing, that not even just in the MLM industry, but really any industry in general, there are going to be months that are better than others. There are going to be times where you fluctuate and you might not even know why one month is better than others. I mean, if we want to look at something like retail, usually the holiday months and the months leading up to the holiday months and everything, there's a reason why stores stay open for really long, because those are the money-making months. Those are the months where, and even back to school, for example, that's another one. We all know this. This is common sense. And that's just going to happen. So she's right. Yes, it's going to fluctuate. You're going to have months that are better than others. But the thing with the MLM industry is she's trying to pass it off as, if you're fluctuating, it's really not that big of a deal because, you know, it happens to everybody. But some people might not even get to the point of fluctuating. Some people are going to be in it for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years maybe, if they stick around for that long. And they're going to be consistently losing money. It might differ. Maybe one month will be less than others, but some people might not even get to this point of making a profit. So that's something I wanted to mention. However, the first part about her saying, don't listen to other people, don't listen to Google, don't listen to reviews and testimonials and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, take testimonials with a grain of salt, because sometimes, yes, there are disgruntled employees. This happens all the time. However, if there are lawsuits saying that people have lost their hair, and there is evidence to show that, there is photo evidence all over the internet about that, might I add, but if there's evidence of all of this, if there's legal documents, I mean, that's a little different than just going on a Google, let's say a Google business review, and seeing that they have, I don't know, 4 out of 5 stars. And it's because there were 2 people that were upset. So there's a difference between someone being upset and disgruntled because they're being a Karen and they didn't get their way. There's a difference between that and actual testimonials, actual lawsuits and documents showing the hair loss, the hair thinning. There's a big difference between those two. Also, Google. Yes, Google is a great place to start, and it's a great place to look at everything and research. There are going to be certain things on Google that are biased, and that's just normal. There are going to be times where you're researching for something. I mean, a perfect example was when I was researching for my Danny Johnson video. A lot of the information that was showing up on Google was positive information. There were really no negative testimonials. There were no criticisms of Danny Johnson or anything like that, which I found very strange, that there wasn't any kind of criticism. It was all positive things about Danny. So Google is going to, it's going to have bias articles and things that it links to and stuff like that. So sometimes you do have to dig on that, and I can't keep saying the G word because my assistant keeps popping up on my phone, so I'm gonna just say G from now on. But so of course, take certain things that you find on the G word with a grain of salt, because not everything is going to be 100% factual or 100%, just 100% factual. Or maybe some pieces are going to be very big opinion pieces, which is why when you're researching for something, you don't just stop at one article. You keep going and you look for both the good and the bad. You don't look for just the bad. You do both. And so that's something that I wanted to mention. But anyway, let's get back to it.
When you're having a bad month, for your business and you're not making sales and it's not going good for you, most of the time, like 98% quit and their business flop because they quit. Because one time it got hard and they decided to quit. Whereas the people who have good months and bad months, but we still keep going, we still keep pushing. And so a lot of you guys have like, conspiracies. You guys get a lot of like controversial because, our company has lawsuits. Whoa, okay, and Target has lawsuits, Sephora has lawsuits, Mac has lawsuits. All these big companies have lawsuits. Like, you ain't telling me nothing that I don't already know. A lot of you.
So, yeah, these other big companies are going to eventually have lawsuits. That happens with giant companies. But when your company is known for lawsuits where people's hair fell out and people's hair was thinning, and when you see the photos of those people, that's something that you shouldn't just go, oh, whoa. And the reason why I'm not being as nice to this rep as I usually am is because from what I've actually seen this rep before, and from what I've also read from other people that commented about this person, she is very condescending. This is just how she is. Of course, other companies anyway, going back to what I was saying, of course, other companies are going to have lawsuits. A lot of companies are going to have lawsuits. That's just how it works. But when you're, like I said, when your company has these lawsuits of these victims of Monat, I mean, that's not something to just like brush under the rug or sweep under the rug. You know what I mean? To me, that was just so demeaning for her to say that. It really truly was. It really truly was. And for her to say that 98% of people quit. Ma'am, where did you get that statistic from? That 98% of people quit? Because I would really like to know how you came up with that number. And there's nothing wrong with leaving a company where you're losing money most of the time. If you're losing thousands of dollars and you were promised that all you do is you just work in pockets of time on your phone from wherever, and that's all you have to do to make money, but then when you're actually in it and they say, oh, people quit because it gets too hard. Well, maybe if you didn't advertise it, that it was just easy as, I'm just going to get on my phone and just do it. Like, does that make sense?
You guys say, oh, I knew somebody, a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a sister that joined the business. She didn't see no results. She didn't make back her money. But how is she working? I always say this. In this business, like, it's simple what we do, but it's not easy. It's simple. We're social selling. We're promoting the products because we genuinely love them. The first step in being able to grow in this.
So that was all that I got from Small Anti-MLM Angel's Instagram for that video of that rep. But she's just so condescending. This rep. She's just so condescending. And like I said, I've seen certain videos of her before, so this is just her attitude. But for her to say at the end of the video about how were they working the business? Well, as I just said, just like a minute ago or 2 minutes ago, you can't advertise this business. It's not a real business. You can't advertise this as easy and you can work from anywhere and you could work on your own time. You could do it while you're home with your children and stuff like that. You can't do that and then expect people to be working the way that you said they could, and they're still not making money. Oh, and now but you have to work hard to get there. Of course you have to work hard to really get anywhere. Nothing is easy and nothing is a get-rich-quick scheme. But when you're advertising something as a get-rich-quick scheme, you get them to sign up under you, you recruit them, and then you make money off of whatever products they buy or whatever products that they sell, if they sell anything. and then you tell them that you have to work really hard. What? Like, that's so contradictory. It's so contradictory. And that's why a lot of us get, you know, if I have to be labeled as a hater, whatever, but, and I forget who, this is a really off-topic thing. Savannah Marie shared something on her Instagram of, I can't remember off the top of my head, so if anybody remembers, leave it in the comment section below, of a screenshot of another anti-MLM advocate or Instagram account or something like that. I can't remember, but it said something along the lines of, in all of the years that they've been advocating for the anti-MLM movement and stuff like that, and I'm paraphrasing here, they've been called every name in the book. They've been called a hater and stuff like that, but the one thing they've never been called is a liar. And when I read that on Savannah's Insta story, I was just like, they're right, because it's true. I've been called every name in the book, and I've been made fun of. I even had someone recently tell me that I need to brush my teeth, and I'm like, my teeth are just naturally discolored. Like, this is just how my teeth are. But I've even had someone come after me for that. I've had people come after me and say that my pink hair basically invalidates anything that I'm saying. But they've never called me a liar either. So that should say something. I don't even know where I was going with the rest of my tangent, so I'm just going to cut it off there. One post from an anti-MLMer that I wanted to show is from an account called freedom_from_MLM. And the graphic says, failed consultants are considered the unmotivated majority, Heidi Liu. The caption reads, this thinking is so prevalent in MLM. We know from income disclosures and studies that this is not true. These businesses are structured in a way that ensure failure for most of the participants. If you're in a multi-level marketing company and you aren't making money, it's not your fault. You are not lazy. With a typical career, you have work-life balance. You are allowed to take a day off. You're allowed to go to bed at a decent time. You're allowed to go on vacation. MLMs don't allow for this. If you're not spending every second on your business, you're lazy. If you aren't staying up until 2 a.m. inviting people to the opportunity, you don't want it bad enough. If you aren't promoting your business during family tragedy, you'll never be successful. Don't fall into this trap. You are enough. You don't need this business. They need you. And I couldn't have said it better myself. So highly recommend following that account because I think that they did a really great job with that post. Now that we've reacted to some reps and some posts and things of that nature, let's get into these hate comments. I don't really consider these hate comments per se because they're not really that bad compared to other things that I've gotten. Other posts that I've gotten have been, or other comments I've gotten have been really bad. And if you follow me on Twitter, I usually post, or sometimes I post the really bad ones. Other times, depending on how bad they are, I'll actually remove it and I'll block the person from my channel because certain things that are said, I'm all for a discussion and I'm all for hearing the opposing side. If someone is pro MLM, I've had really great conversations with pro MLM people in my comment section. I love hearing that, and I love hearing it if they're willing to speak as adults. If you're going to throw a temper tantrum, if you're going to act like a toddler, then no, I'm not going to stand for that. And if you're going to really just be a downright a-hole, then sorry, you're getting the block button. At that point, I'm not dealing with that. This person, however, did not get the block button. I let this one go, but the person, this is what their comment said. Jesus Christ, can you just read the story without worrying so much about hurting anyone's feelings? People know when their car is a piece of shit. There is nothing wrong with judgment. It's a critical survival instinct for all animals. You absolutely should be judging people and situations always. I should have known when I saw the pink hair. This came from someone who left another comment on my video talking about, I wouldn't even call it talking, I would call it bragging about how he has $1 million business. So this was my response. I'm not too sure what having empathy for another person's situation and having pink hair have to do with one another. I also saw your other comment on this video talking about your $1 million business. Maybe you should try humbling yourself instead of hiding behind an anonymous account, bragging about your wealth. If that's even true, or you're just an internet troll who's very insecure and trying to make him or herself feel better, because I would never brag about how much our business makes. That's tacky. And trying to make a connection about pink hair that doesn't exist. I do have to correct myself that they're technically not really an anonymous account. I did click on their profile after I typed this out, and then I just didn't care to edit it. They do have some videos on their channel. They don't show their face at all, but they show their kid's face on camera. So this person, like I said, has a channel. But this was on my, I don't know if you've been here for a bit, you might remember this video, but do y'all remember when I did that video about the FW1 scam and how someone sent me some information about it? Then I looked into something called New Vision Promotions, and I kind of went a little bit more in depth with that, and I looked into the company. And this was on that video. That video was posted in November of 2020. That's a long time ago. Well, okay, it's not a long time ago, but for me, it's a long time ago because November is just a blur for me. But November of 2020, this person commented that. And here's the kicker, is I got from YouTube, and when I looked at the time, you can't see it here because stupid me, didn't take screenshots of it to kind of prove this. But I got a privacy claim sent to me from YouTube, and it said that I was violating privacy at 12 minutes and 31 seconds, which I had to blur out, and I had to so awkwardly blur it out too because YouTube's blur tool, I don't know if it was my internet connection or if it's just their blur tool and editor sucks, but it just did it in the wrong spot, and then it just was on the screen for too long, and I just didn't care. I just put a pinned comment on that video because I normally don't really respond to older videos or comments on older videos. Sometimes I will, but not all the time because there are times where I just shut my notifications off so that I can kind of, hang out and just not have to worry about YouTube. But this person, I'm almost positive, I'm like 99.9% sure in my gut, I can't prove it, but when I looked at the time that I got this privacy claim, compared it to the time that this person commented on my video, and when I looked at my statistics at the time that this person commented on my video, they were the only one that looked at my video at that specific time, because I kind of backtracked, because when I started backtracking, it was at, I think it was at like 9 hours or something. Like it was posted 9 hours prior. So I backtracked, and I think that person put a privacy claim on my video. And here's the kicker about that privacy claim. The privacy claim was of a screenshot of the New Vision Promotions website that had a picture of people, and compared to the stock photos that they had on their website, public website, might I add, they also had, I'm assuming these were people that worked at New Vision as well. And they claimed that as a privacy claim. So instead of having to go through the hassle with YouTube, because I've literally had enough of people abusing the system and doing all of that nonsense, I just blurred out the faces, and I put in the pinned comment, if you're so keen to see what these people look like, the link to the public website is listed in the description box. So yeah, I'm almost positive, unless if for whatever reason the time was a little bit off, because it doesn't give me the exact minutes and everything. It'll say once it gets past 1 hour, it goes by hour. So unless if it was maybe just a few minutes before, because there was another view a few minutes before, or like a little bit before that, unless if it was someone else, but I just find it to be a very big coincidence that I got the claim same time that I got that comment. So if you're watching this, douchebag, thanks for the privacy claim. I'm not taking my video down, but good job trying to do that. This next comment I got on my video where I talked about the company that came after me, and they sent me this whole document and how they were going to pursue legal action and all of that nonsense. And I told you guys that I decided to remove the video because the company that sent me that, which I let you guys know what company that was in my Lululemon video, but the company that had sent me that is known for doing that. So I decided that I'm just going to remove it and keep it at that. But I am going to talk about it because I think that that's wrong. They're going against my freedom to talk about my opinion and critique something. So anyway, this person commented, and I tried to look up to see if they had any affiliation with the company. The only connection that I could find of any sorts was that maybe this person likes gin because their name was Gin Grant, but the only thing that I found was that there is a gin that's called Williams Grant and Sons or something like that. So that's the only thing that I could think of. But they were dedicated because it said, now these screenshots, this is when and I'm going to put the time that I actually screenshotted it so you guys can see it. But they joined at the time 37 minutes ago, and they put the comment on my video at 35 minutes ago. So clearly they created this account just to leave this comment on my video. And I honestly think that this was someone from the company because of certain ways that they wrote out their comment, and also because instead of calling it a YouTube channel or YouTube videos, they called it YouTube stories. And if you're someone who watches YouTube a lot, you would call it a channel or YouTube videos. You wouldn't call it stories. Unless if maybe you're from an older generation, because if you guys remember, they were writing to me and they called it a podcast. They called my channel a podcast, not a YouTube channel. And they, instead of calling it a video, they called it a podcast. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, and I don't want to sound paranoid, but I do, in my gut, believe that this is someone from that company. And I'm sorry if you can hear a dog snoring, but Lily is passed the F out right next to me. But anyway, this person said, "You relentlessly critique and negatively comment on others based solely on your personal prejudices and opinions with no facts actually checked by you. You go after persons and their businesses that you can convert into things that fit your business content requirements, and you turn people into inhuman objects or content for your for-profit YouTube stories, and then you argue that no one should ever do the same to you and no one should interfere with your YouTube business." Wow, that's a really long sentence. Let me just say a few things first. This person, even though they had just created their profile, either they've been lurking for a little bit or they're just saying relentlessly critique or whatever because I said that that company is relentless and they go after people all the time in that video. And then they said that I critique and negatively comment on others based solely on my personal prejudices and opinions. All of my description or all of my sources are linked in the description box. I say that in almost all of my videos. So why don't you check out those sources that I got the information from? And when I have an opinion, I follow it by saying, but that's just my opinion. So there's that. Then the part that says that I turn people into inhuman objects or content for profit, basically, is paraphrasing. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. But that's not what I'm doing. I try to be as fair as I possibly can. At the end of the day, I know these are human beings. I know that these are people, especially MLM reps. I know that these are people who are just trying to make it. A lot of them are moms. They're just trying to be able to take care of their children, stay home with their kids, and still be able to make money. I get it. I don't agree with the business that they have or that they're in. I don't agree with the industry, but I have no problem with these people personally. So that's number one. Number two, even if Savvy Writes Books commented on my video about Danny Johnson, and Savvy even said that I was really fair in my critique. And if anyone has watched Savvy and her videos, she's probably the most fair person on this platform that I've ever watched, which is why I really truly enjoy watching Savvy's videos. But for her to say that to me really meant a lot, because I always try to be as fair as possible. As much as I might dislike a business or I might dislike what someone's doing, I try my best to be as fair as I possibly can. So I don't turn people into inhuman objects just for content to make money. And for this person, does this person think that I make millions on YouTube? Because that's not the case. That's not the case at all. I don't make millions on YouTube, like at all. But anyway, let's keep going. But you appear to see no problem with you interfering with others' lives and business because you in your largest and great wisdom think they are questionable. Yeah, they're questionable. But I also never said that I have great wisdom. I don't. And last time I checked, I'm allowed to question a company. I'm allowed to think that someone, a person, or a company is questionable. It's better to be a little skeptical than to be naive. It's better to question things. And I don't understand how that's a bad thing. How is that a negative thing? And you also hide behind some self-serving, narrative that you are just quoting sources equals like some innocent, good, moral person or researcher, and appear to take no responsibility for what you freely choose to circulate and publish and promote and the influence you or it might have. Well, if you're watching this and if you're from the company who came after me, why don't you go after the sources that I left in my description box? Because that's where I got all of my information from. Why don't you go after them? Why don't you do that? If any business operated the way you do, you would call them inconsiderate, dishonest monsters. Oh my God, are you serious? Woo, okay. How is it not silly to argue that a company should not be allowed to react to being smeared by someone who speaks to almost 10,000 people and who actually knows nothing about them? Just the same way you would if someone made videos about you and clearly was trying to harm your livelihood and reputation. You delete, okay, before I get to the deleting comments thing, I'm sorry, but how would me, a small creator with a very small channel here on YouTube with less than 9,000 subscribers at the time of filming this, how would someone my size who had a little over 5,000 views on that video, how would I harm someone's livelihood or reputation? Especially because there are other videos out there and a larger creator, which I'm not going to name because I do not want them to go after them, a larger creator also made a video about them that has garnered well over 100,000 views. But my small little channel is somehow going to ruin their reputation. Did you ever think that maybe they ruined their reputation on their own? Did you ever stop to think that maybe it was their own fault and not some small little nobody on YouTube? Think about that for a second. You delete non-admiring comments. Imagine what you would do if someone made a false, harsh critique video about you and your family's businesses. Okay, as I said a little bit earlier, have I deleted comments? Yes, I have. If they're abusing me, if they're being an asshole, and if they're just being downright rude and have nothing to add to the conversation and they're just sitting here making fun of what I look like, Those types of comments, sometimes I'll leave them up depending on how I feel that day. But there are times, yes, I just blocked someone 2 days ago because they kept coming back and they kept just being, there was nothing of substance to their replies. They got upset that I replied to them with a smart response, and they got upset about it, and they just kept coming back and acting like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum. I don't have time for that, nor should I allow that on my channel. If you're going to come at me and like that, I don't have time for that. If you want to have an adult conversation with me, then absolutely, I'm willing to hear you out, especially if you have sources to cite. And I honestly, and I was just talking to Anti-MLM advocate about this last night, I would love for someone to prove me wrong. I would love it. And that wouldn't even hurt my pride, because I would love for someone to prove me wrong, but I have yet to have someone prove me wrong. They just call me names. That's it. They just call me names. So, and like I said, have I deleted comments in the past? Yes. But this person is making it sound like I delete every single bad comment. No, I don't. Go through some of my videos. There are going to be negative comments on my videos. And maybe I don't have as much as other channels because I'm not as big as other channels. I don't get the same amount of views as other channels. But I've gotten those comments before. Like I said, I post them on Twitter. I post them on Instagram sometimes. So I get those, and I leave some of them up. The final part of it says, you are the one silencing critics, as you call it, by deleting comments which do not cheer you and that are not pro you. I find that telling, as you call it. Well, I went to go respond to this person, and I got a little spinny boy that showed me that this person deleted their comment before I could even respond to it. And I don't even remember what I said. I wish I would have screenshot what I said. Hello everyone, Editing Monica here. In addition to this really strange comment, I received yet another one that went into my held for review. In case you guys don't know, with YouTube, there is a held for review option, whether you decide to block certain words or if YouTube itself decides that this comment is not a good comment and that it wants you to monitor it first. So it'll just put it into held for review. I get a lot of comments that go in there that really have no reason to be in there. They don't have any of the blocked words or anything like that, but I digress. I did get a comment from a Fournette Smith, and at the time of taking the screenshot, they had joined 33 minutes ago, joined Facebook, oh my gosh, joined YouTube 33 minutes ago, and they left this comment right after they joined YouTube. So clearly they were very dedicated. Most people in these comment sections, including the poster, would call lawyer and threaten lawsuits if they had the resources to do so, and if strangers posted monetized self-serving videos on YouTube which targeted their livelihood. The idea that large companies, which are run by people who work 5 days a week just like everyone else, are somehow fair game and should just take it with a smile is a cultish and stupid and unrealistic expectation of YouTube or internet comment section people. Monica Hayworth does not like being criticized in her videos comment sections, as this monetized YouTube channel is her business. Can you imagine if someone started posting videos and trying to ruin her reputation, maybe posting opinions that were not accurate about her and her family and what her reaction might be? This comment will be deleted or silenced, and that shows the poster is the same as the people she uses for her content and for her own profit, which equals do not talk about me or my business. The same, but pretending not to be the same. Do not mess with my income stream. Let's not talk about it is more like it. So I decided to respond, and I was so excited when this person actually left their comment up for enough time for me to respond. And I said, are you the same commenter from the other day who dirty deleted his or her comment before I could even respond? Your writing sounds the same. Or are you from the company itself? It's interesting that you created your account today just a little bit ago and then left this comment. So with that dedication, I have to respond. Yes, I'm being very overdramatic. The issue with what this company did is they went against fair use. I have the right to critique and comment on other companies. Anything that is my opinion is exactly that. I make it known when I'm commenting on something as opinion, or I'll provide a screenshot of where I found the information from. My sources are always left in the description box, and I encourage people to do their own research along with having a discussion, even if we have a difference of opinion. I never ruin this company's reputation. That is absolutely laughable for you to even make that kind of a comment. I, a creator who at the time of posting this has under 9K subs, and that video had under 6K views at the time that I took it down, since this company is known to go after people and silence critics. I did end up going back in there and editing it to say critics and not critiques, because I was just very passionate about what I was saying at the time. Ruined a company's reputation? Please explain how, because there were people in that comment section leaving amazing reviews and testimonials of the company that I left up. I didn't delete them because they have a right to talk about their positive experiences. Or is the company that guilty of something that they go after every single critic? I, again, edited that after I took the screenshot. Even the small guys like myself, because they have the money and connections to take me to court. I did add, in addition, this is not my business. YouTube is my hobby. And that's important to know because I kind of just started taking screenshots because I knew they were going to delete it. But it is important to know that because that's something that gets brought up by this person, sorry, can't talk, a little bit later. Your comment won't be deleted. YouTube flagged it and put it into held for review, so I approved it. You'll delete it just like your other anonymous account, Jin Grant, or maybe Jin Grant is your coworker from this very company who sent me this documentation. The only time I delete comments is if they are harassing me or people I speak about. For example, on my true crime videos, if they say someone deserved to be murdered. I think we can both agree that that warrants me deleting it. Or if someone is just coming back with multiple replies and not adding to the conversation, just attacking what I look like, not the content itself. Again, I think we can both agree that is counterproductive to having an adult discussion. You have a lovely day, Fornet Smith. Well, Fornet decided to respond, and he said, "My mistake, I thought your videos were monetized and that this content provided a potential income stream of some kind for you. I take back much of what I said," which I'm not sure what being monetized has to do with his argument, but you'll see in a second. My response: I am monetized, but I wouldn't call it a business. I make peanuts on ad revenue. Some videos even get demonetized, but I still post them. Edited to add: along with monetization, channels who aren't monetized or part of the program still get ads placed in their videos due to a change in YouTube's policies. Meaning, if you see ads, it doesn't necessarily mean the creator is getting paid ad revenue. Essentially, in the end, YouTube is placing ads anyway. Creators should take advantage of the program so YouTube doesn't make all that money off of another person's hard work in creating a video. So then Fornet decided to respond. Then you are building a business, and I would say it might be misleading to call it a hobby. You are creating an income stream, and I assume hoping to grow it larger, and you are achieving this by casting suspicion and posting negative opinions about others and promoting caution and cynicism for profit. If any MLM or company ran their business on your model, riding on the back of what you perceived as others' failings and faults, as you seem to do, and what you research for and you put the accent on, you would call them unconscionable monsters and lots of other names. Which is funny because we do actually have our own business. I wouldn't consider my YouTube channel a business because it's not making enough for me to be able to stay home or be able to do it full time. I do think that YouTube can become your business. It can become your small business. You can make money. There is potential to make money on YouTube, but I wouldn't consider my channel a business. So I responded, "Oh, so this is Jin Grant from the other day, judging by that last sentence. I'm so happy that you actually left your comment up this time around so we could discuss. If you think it's misleading for me to create videos and base them on research that I've done and providing all the sources for that research along with some of my opinions as a hobby, then I don't know what to tell you. My ad revenue doesn't even begin to cover my equipment or the time I put into my channel. Also, in case you didn't know, there is such a thing as making money off of a hobby. My accountant helps me with the taxes side of things. Just do a quick Google search and it'll show that most hobbies aren't considered a business because typically hobbies make little to no profit, which is the case here. That's not why I create these videos. I create them because I'm passionate about helping people. I think MLM companies and the company I spoke about in this video are misleading, deceptive, manipulative, and predatory. Preying on the vulnerable is something I will continue to expose and promote caution and cynicism. even if that means people like you will leave comments like these accusing me of being misleading. I'll wear that like a badge of honor if it means helping one person get out of an MLM or preventing one person from joining. You clearly have your mind made up about me and my content, which you clearly haven't watched, because if you would have watched even just this video, you would have seen all the contradictions from this company. We will have to agree to disagree. You have a great day, Fornet, Jin, or whatever your real name is. The funny part is that he sat there. This was clearly the second time that he was posting this. He deleted his comment the first time around with Jin Grant, and now he deleted his comment with this one, because after that, I went to go refresh it and it was all gone. All of it was gone. So this guy has a problem and says that I delete comments, which, let me just say something. There is nothing wrong with YouTubers or content creators, whatever you want to call us here on YouTube. There is nothing wrong, in my opinion, of deleting comments. If there are comments that are coming after what you look like, if there are comments that are pretty much adding nothing to the table and all they're doing is making fun of you for, I just recently had one that said, please brush your teeth. Like, that is completely unnecessary. And that, yeah, I think that's fine to delete that comment. If someone's gonna sit here and just bash other people and they're not adding anything to the conversation, they're not being an adult about it, and they're bashing other people in the comment section, no, you will be banned from this channel. And I have no problem saying that. But the thing is that this guy, we were having a discussion and I was all for leaving his comment up. I left it up. That's why I kept responding back to him, because I wanted to see what he had to say. But from what I got from that is he has an issue with me creating these types of videos and being monetized off of creating these types of videos. That is all that I got from that, and that he likes to delete his comments. I'm sorry that this editing Monica mode was very long, much longer than usual, but I have been feeling so sassy and feisty lately that I just needed to add this into the video. But anyway, let's get back to the other video. That's all that I have for you guys today. I just wanted to bring all of that to you. I wanted to do a little bit of an easier video for me, because these are much easier for me to make. I am in the process of finishing research for another video for a deep dive that will probably be coming to you guys, hopefully, if all goes well, next week. So, and that was wasn't really at the request of Anti-MLM Advocate, but she was the one that gave me the idea for it, and she did a little bit of internet sleuthing and found the name of the MLM. So that will probably be my next video that comes out. So it'll all make sense in the next video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's starting to get really hot in here because it's hot outside and it's hot from the lights. So I need to stop rambling and stop going off on a tangent. So I'm very sorry about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you guys next time. And this is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye.